guide to the proper usage and care of your Hublot Classic Fusion Aerofusion Orlinski limited edition. This timepiece winds itself automatically by means of the motion of your wrist and its case-back winding rotor, but if you wish to energize this watch by manual means, you can do so by taking the crown in its first position flush to the case and turning it approximately 30 to 40 turns in a clockwise direction. This will be more than enough to energize the watch and create an energy buffer so that it can continue winding itself and maintain operation. However, should you wish to wind the watch to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 42 hours, simply continue turning the crown in that first position flush to the case in a clockwise direction. Eventually, you will hear a subtle click or tick from within the watch. This is the bridle-style mainspring slipping by design. It does this to relieve excess strain so that you cannot accidentally overwind the watch. Just continue turning till you hear that subtle click or tick, and you will know that your watch is fully wound. The timepiece has two subsidiary setting modes. There is hacking or stop seconds and a quick set date function that allows you to cycle the date visible at 6 o'clock. First, I'm going to demonstrate the hacking or stop seconds, also known as the setting mode. Because the constant second, that is chronograph independent seconds display of your watch, is at 3 o'clock, you want to wait for it to approach the very top of its travel, so it's at the index, 60 seconds, and then pull the crown out 2 detents from flush to the case. This is the stop second mode. The balance of the watch will have stopped beating, the second hand will stop advancing, and you can set the watch precisely. Let's get a little bit closer and see exactly of which I speak. Now the timepiece has a date, so you want to make sure you know where you are in the 24-hour cycle before you set the time. So you can see that I rolled through 12 and the date didn't change, so I know now I'm looking at, for example, 2 p.m. You want to make sure you stop that seconds hand right at 60 on the subdial and then advance to the correct hour. Let's say where I am, it is currently 5:30. Well, I want to set the watch against a known accurate online reference, such as an atomic clock set to my time zone. If it's 5:30 where I am, I'm going to set the watch to 5:31, 1 minute ahead of my current time. And I do this because I'm going to wait for the reference time, the atomic clock that I'm monitoring, to catch up to the hour, minute, and second that I've set. As soon as all the indications of the reference coincide with what I see on my dial, I push that crown back in, I resume the beat of the balance. You can see the seconds hand is moving again. I can start the chronograph. The watch has been synchronized to a reference time. It's also important to remember that there is a position between winding and setting known as the quick set, and the quick set allows you to rapidly cycle the date which sits at 6 o'clock on the dial. Now in the quick set mode, you turn the crown in a counterclockwise direction and you can rapidly cycle the date. This is useful should the watch encounter an irregular length month or run down. Remember, that's the intermediate position between setting and winding. There is one area of caution involving the quickset. You should never attempt to operate the quickset date between the hours of 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., as that is the period during which the watch's automatic date change is engaged, and attempting to use the quickset during this period may crash the movement and cause significant damage. So if you need to roll through a date change in the middle of the night, it's best to simply go into setting mode and roll the hour hand and the minute hands straight through midnight, change over the date past 3 a.m., and now you're out of the danger zone. You can use the quickset. Otherwise, remember, between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., don't use the quickset date. This timepiece features a chronograph, essentially a stopwatch measuring anywhere between 1 second and 30 minutes. You have chronograph seconds at center, and you have the 30-minute register at 9 o'clock. It's important to remember that the chronograph is always operated in this order. Start with the pusher at 2 o'clock, stop with the pusher at 2 o'clock, and reset with the pusher at 4 o'clock. Start, stop, reset. Attempting to reset the chronograph while it's operating, like attempting to use the quick set date out of turn, can crash the movement and cause significant damage, so ensure that you always stop the chronograph before resetting. There are 3 primary hazard areas to keep in mind when using your watch: water, magnetism, and shock. This timepiece is water resistant to 50 meters, which is sufficient for surface exposure, but not for diving, nor for anything that would involve a rebreather. The timepiece, water resistant to 50 meters, is equipped with a rubber strap that is also water tolerant. However, you need to ensure that accidental drowning is avoided by keeping that crown pressed down. At all times, disuse the crown functions, disuse the chronograph functions, not just while the watch is submerged, but even when the watch is wet. A wet watch is effectively a submerged watch from a handling standpoint. So don't actuate the chronograph, and don't wind or attempt to set the watch or the date while there's water on the case, as this can bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the timepiece. It's also important to remember that though the watch is 50 meters water resistant, nevertheless, over time, water resistance ebbs as seals age and lubricants degrade. Therefore, Hublot recommends, on a yearly basis, having the watch water tested, dry water tested, at an Hublot authorized service center. It's also a good time to have total condition of the watch, strap, water resistance, and running performance tested. If necessary, service exclusively with Hublot factory service centers or the factory itself. Now, magnetism is a unique threat because it's unseen but ubiquitous. The effect of magnetism is to change the state of the ferrous hairspring at the center of your watch's beating balance, its heartbeat. A magnetized watch will run erratically, either very quickly or very slowly. If you suspect due to erratic running that your watch has become magnetized, take it to an Hublot authorized dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize the watch. As a precaution, keep the watch remote from powerful static magnets such as subwoofers, speakers, including those in the laptop you might be using right now. Keep the watch remote from the closures of refrigerator doors, wallets, and purses, and remote from electromagnets like powerful electronic devices, wiring looms, and wiring systems. Concussion is a different kind of threat because whereas magnetism can be easily reverted, concussion can cause more permanent damage to your watch. At a minimum, shock and vibration may cause the watch to run without precision. Maximally, direct concussive force may crack or fracture the ceramic case and the sapphire, undermine the water resistance of your watch, even stop the movement and necessitate replacement or repair. Therefore, it's best to keep the watch remote from concussive activities such as the riding of motorcycles, ATVs, or mountain bikes, and concussive sports such as batting, tennis, golf, and firearms marksmanship. Ultimately, every fine timepiece requires a periodic comprehensive service per Hublot every 3 to 5 years. If necessary, service exclusively with an Hublot factory service center or the Hublot factory itself, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and original Hublot factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all parts and labor invested with an Hublot factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the care and usage of this or any Hublot timepiece.